So we are in my studio, which I share with 6 other people, and this is the base where all of the Bombay animations were made.
And it's in a railway tunnel, so you might hear some trains. I'm Anna Ginsberg. I'm an animator, director, who's worked with the boys on-off for the last 3 years. I started with a stop-motion animation that I made for How Can You Swallow So Much Sleep? And then I did Carry Me with some live-action directors and added hand-drawn animation over the top. And my latest music video that I did was for Luna, which was all live-action with synchronised swimming.
And I'm Adam, and I mainly work in theatre and opera, making projections and animations that get used during live performances.
We started to talk about artwork and what we were going to do with it, and I just found an image in a newspaper by an old animator called Edward Muybridge.
Edward Muybridge, who pioneered stop-motion animation.
We thought this kind of ties in quite nicely with the theme of loops. There's a lot of cycles in the lyrics and the lyrical themes, and it worked. And so we started to base our artwork on animation, and the front cover itself can be animated if you spin it around. And it was only natural that we were going to try and incorporate that into our live show.
The project was quite vast. It was, in total, how many tracks? 12? 12 tracks. And we had 6 weeks to make the content. So, you know, that's the equivalent of like an animated feature film in terms of time.
It was really fun just coming up with the ideas and sitting down and sort of brainstorming together. Like, we were thinking about what to do with Feel, which has this very prominent Bollywood sample on it, and I remembered where I sampled it from. It was an old Bollywood film about a snake and a snake charmer. And so Anna said, great, I'm going to draw this very hypnotic snake animation, and as soon as it comes on, it just works perfectly.
The format of the show, which was designed by Squib, the lighting designer, is the 7 discs. And the way we've used the 7 discs throughout varies.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're all individually housing their own animation that's going on, and sometimes they're used more as like one huge wide screen. So with the solar system that rises for Luna, you get a sense of quite a like majestic sense of like expanding movement when the men start falling through. We kind of tried to play with the format a bit to keep it fresh for the tracks. I initially pitched a hand-drawn thing of Beyoncé dancing, literally just Beyoncé dancing, but it was just really expressive, and like her bum and her boobs and stuff were kind of like flashing, and it was all really fun. I showed it to the boys and I was like, you know, Home by Now reminds, it's kind of got a hip hop beat, this could work really nicely. And they were like, I expected them to be like, what? This is so silly, like hip hoppy and naughty, but instead they were like, you know, like, this is really cool, like, yeah, like, let's do it. And then we kind of got a bit self-conscious after that, and like made it more about Edward Muybridge again.
Yeah.
And found all these like Edwardian women with
18th century ladies dancing with umbrellas.
with umbrellas, and made it really like, you know, sweet again, and far removed from the hip hop thing. And then they were just like, what? But we like the Beyonce thing, like, just take it back to what we originally wanted. And that was like, great. Because now I think it's one of the most playful ones. I feel like Carry Me is a great mixture of lighting design and visuals, and for me it's a great finale to the show. And sitting at Brixton Academy, it was like overwhelming the amount of like strobing that goes on, but like in a great way, that makes our line look really bold.
Yeah, I think that was the one where they married together.
Really nicely.
That's a good way to end.
I feel like there is something about having that scale of stimulation, visually and audio-wise, that means people lose their inhibitions a bit more. And I feel like the expectation within tours will become more and more visually focused in the next few years. And the expectations of tours as like a sensory experience.
You're not just going to see a band anymore, you're going to watch a show.
Yeah.